Welcome to Chattin Staffin. This is your chance to learn more about our open roles and, more importantly, the people you'll be working with. Today, we're talking about a wealth architect role with the founder, owner, and chief wealth architect of Boyum Wealth Architects, Mr. James Knapp.
How's it going?
It's going very well.
It's
How
good.
are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. So we have something in common.
What
We're
is
both
that?
from Iowa.
Oh, yeah. God's country.
Some may say. Northeast Iowa, Northwest Iowa.
Yep.
Went to, fun fact, out of many fun facts about you, went to college with Charlie Metzing, Boyum's managing partner.
Yep.
Did you guys know each other in college?
Yep.
Like how well?
He was 2 years behind me. He was in my sister's grade.
Okay.
And Charlie played basketball. I hung out with a lot of basketball players, so I remember playing against him in intramural basketball when he didn't make the varsity. And then he actually played rugby with me.
Nice. Yeah. Very cool. You also played football in college, I understand?
I did.
Okay. So you have to ask, this being from Iowa, are we a Hawkeye fan or are we a Gopher fan? And there's not always a right and wrong answer, but there is to this one, James.
I tell people that Hayden Fry did not give me a scholarship, so I'm not an Iowa fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Does that mean you're a Gopher fan?
I'm not a Gopher fan really either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't get behind the Gopher. The mascot, a little underwhelming to me. Anyway,
I'm fine with that.
appreciate it. So thanks again for being here.
Yeah.
Leader of Boyum Wealth Architects. Prior to Boyum Wealth Architects, you founded Heritage Wealth Architects after about 10 years at a nationally well-known firm. What was the catalyst to you going out on your own?
I actually started in my career in 2003 with American Express Financial Advisors. And then I was there when we became Ameriprise. And then I ran a franchise with Ameriprise until 2012. And I wrote my business plan in 2006 to actually start my own RIA. But in 2007, you could see the cracks in the economy. 2008, 2009 was most terrific ever. And if you're going to start a business, you want an expanding economy, not a detracting economy, because you can't fight that economy. And so
Right.
I was ready to go in 2011. My wife had a baby. She stopped working as a lawyer. And then I thought we were going back into recession in 2011. September of 2011, we had TARP 2 come in. By May of 2012, I was ready to go and started Heritage Wealth Architects. And then we merged May 15th of last year with Boyum Wealth Management.
Almost to the day.
Yep.
And
It's almost a 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And what a great fit. So what was the vision? What was the differentiating factor between when you started Heritage, now Boyum Wealth Architects, to what you were doing at Ameriprise?
Good question. So when I started at American Express, on my floor, I had American Express Tax and Business Services. Mike Mader was actually the chief managing partner for American Express Tax and Business Services. So when I was learning how to be an advisor, I actually would walk down the hall and do tax returns with the tax team.
Wow.
Mike Bader said, if you're a young guy, nobody wants to talk to you. But if you want to talk taxes, everybody will listen. And so he taught me how to do a tax return, we were doing ISOs for incentive stock options in the 83 small B election. He taught me a lot about how the tax code works. And so I could explain that to people who had stock options for publicly traded companies. And they would listen to me. And I was like 25 years old and they would work with me, which was very amazing, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'd always had a vision of coming back together with tax. When you go out on your own, you can work with strategic partners. So Charlie and I had actually worked together on cases before for clients. Charlie and I had drifted apart for 20 years, basically. And I saw him and Tom Marguerite at a trade show, and he was working the booth. And I was like, hey, Charlie, what's going on? I had a client that I was working on that was growing rapidly. And he went from, 30 employees to 600 employees over a year.
Wow.
Multiple state tax return, multiple businesses within that. And so Charlie and I got to work together with another attorney in town for that client. And so Charlie and I figured out that this was a fun way to work again. That we both have our own talents that we bring to the table for the client. But if we work together, we can actually get more done for the client in their best interest.
Yep, absolutely. And that's why, the integration of the wealth architect team makes so much sense. It's just another way for us to service our client.
For sure.
And that's great. And you guys have been just such a great fit.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. If you had to give me a few sentences on Boyum Wealth Architects, who is Boyum Wealth Architects in the market?
We're a small to medium sized registered investment advisory firm, which means that we have about 5 to 600 million. I think it's like $650 million at Schwab today. Once you go over $1 billion, there's only 7% of all RIAs ever making over $1 billion of assets under management, which would put you in the top 10%, right? So we're growing. We're going to get there within a couple of years, but today we're considered top 20% RIAs in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. And we're one of the fastest growing registered investment advisory firms in the nation as well right now. And we have been for the last 4 years, and according to Schwab metrics. And Schwab actually manages about 80% of all registered investment advisory firms in the country. So they're the behemoth. They have all the access to information. They give us access to that information, and we can track ourselves that way.
Great.
So, yeah.
Great. Okay. You guys are growing exponentially. It's been great.
Yeah. It's fun.
So we're talking today about a wealth architect opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me? What does a wealth architect do?
So I came up with the moniker a long time ago. So, I'm a Seinfeld fan. So George Costanza always pretended to be an architect. His name was Art Vandelay. And then he mentioned one time in an episode that he did the addition to the Guggenheim, which I thought was really funny.
After he was a marine biologist.
Yeah, she was two things. He had a parallel life. Anyways, when you think about what an architect actually does, and you study architecture, they actually understand from the ground floor up the entire construction of the building. And I always thought financial planning was sort of that embodiment that we had 5 different areas. We do budgeting, risk management, taxes, insurance, estate plan, and investments. And so we get to talk about the entire financial plan or life of our clients in many different ways. And in order to architect that, you have to build a basement. Then you have to have the first floor, second floor, third floor. And sometimes if you work with clients, you might have 10 floors. You might have 20 floors, depending on how much money they have. But you need to be able to build it so that a hurricane can't take it down, or natural disaster, or the economy is kind of one of those things.
I don't have to worry about that. We're still trying to get out of the basement.
We'll get you out. We'll build the second floor for you. But that role is basically an embodiment of understanding all areas of financial planning. And so you have to have mastered all those areas to be an architect. And an architect actually you go to architecture school, it's 6 years post, and then you have 10 tests that you have to take to become an actual architect. It's actually a lot of schooling. So if you look at it, our job is the same thing. We start as what I would call a paraplanner, and then we go into integrated wealth manager, and then you become a wealth architect. And it generally takes, honestly, it's like 10 to 15 years to actually become a wealth architect. It's a long time. It's an apprenticeship program. There's a lot of things to learn. There's a huge team that we work with. We have Tyler and his investment management team. We have Rip in the 401k side. We have our other wealth architects and integrated wealth managers are kind of meat and potatoes of our team. And everybody works together with our software to get things done for our clients so we can reduce the friction of that. The wealth architect has to see what the future of that client's going to be and manage that client, what their expectation is, what their needs and wants are, and try to basically design a plan that gets them from where they are today to where they need to be in the future.
Sure.
Makes sense?
Very much so. Thank you. Okay, great. One of the things I appreciate about you, and I tell people this frequently, I hope you're okay with it. I don't feel like James Knapp suffers any fools.
Okay.
I'm very particular about a lot of things. You can ask a lot of people that we work with at Boyum about that. I know a lot of people, but you've done such a great job with this team. Okay. And I don't want to take a negative tone with this, but sometimes the best way to ask, like, what isn't going to work for a wealth architect at BWA?
That's a good question. First and foremost, you have to be a team player. You just mentioned it. We have a great team. Yeah. I've never, to use the gopher term, row the boat. We're all rowing the boat in the right direction.
Okay. I like it.
And that's the one thing I think PJ Fleck does very well as a coach is he gets everybody onto the field and they all know what they're supposed to go and they believe that they're going to go go Gophers. And ours is go Boyum. So team player, really, truly care about your clients and client service. So we believe in white glove service. So you have to really go above and beyond to deliver that white glove service. My favorite restaurant in St. Paul is Meritage. If you go to Meritage today, if you went to Meritage 20 years ago, it was the same service. Different staff, same service every time, which is why people go back there. We're delivering great service and great advice, and we execute for our clients. So the last piece of that is being a great project manager and really managing all the details for a client's life. You do those 3 things, you're a perfect fit for us. Make sense?
Absolutely. Hunters, farmers, different types of, let's just say, salespeople. That your team is a lot more than that. But does this person need to hunt? Part of the reason I would assume that your team was integrated into Boyum is because of our, clients we built up over 51 years.
Mm-hmm.
What can somebody expect in terms of that hunting versus farming for clients?
You're going to have a blend of both. We're going to happy hour today with Quasar. They're an investment bank. We have a client that we're going to sell a business for today. We're going to introduce them to 3 different investment bankers in town. Harris is new to our team. I've drug him around town to meet with other strategic partners. So I don't know if that's hunting or if it's networking or if it's really understanding the landscape of who we work with in the Twin Cities. But you're going to have to interact with those people. As far as like going into a room, telling everybody you're a financial planner and having them run away from you, that's not something that we're going to be doing. Because if I want to clear a room and, I just tell everybody that I'm a, financial planner and they run away. And so that's not really, I'm not asking you to walk into a room and lift a wallet and bring it back to us like a hunter. But you need to have a personality that can go to a wild game or a wolves game, that can go golf or hunt or fish. You need to be able to network with your clients and our strategic partners. And I don't know if that's considered hunting or if it's just fun, but you need to have some of that personality.
Right. Well, you're not cold calling and just pounding the phone and knocking on doors.
Absolutely not.
I'd much rather do that over a nice meal or golfing.
Yeah.
If you could put up with my terrible golfing, because
absolutely.
The word on the street is I hear you're pretty good.
I'm not that good. I play client golf. I move fast and I keep it in the fairway. But
that's pretty good then.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I'm there to really be the caddy for the client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really focused on fit. If I've had any success in this profession, it's just because it's something I'm laser focused on. So a lot of it is who we work with, specifically the boss. You're the leader. This person I would assume is going to report to you. Outside of what we discussed today, what does James Knapp do for fun?
Last night I went to a softball game with my daughter. The night before I went golfing with my son for 9 holes on Mother's Day for an hour and a half, which went over well, actually.
Nice.
We have a new puppy at home. Little Terry is like 10 weeks old now.
What's the name?
His name's Terry.
Terry. Okay.
I love it. And it's from the video Backup Terry, if anybody's seen it.
Really?
One of my favorites.
Do we have the capability of like cutting that in here?
It's also Hulk Hogan's first name, Terry.
Terry Bollea.
Terry Bollea, that's correct. And our neighbor got a puppy, and that dog's name is Toby. So Toby and Terry are brothers from the same litter.
Oh, wow.
And they run
Full
back
circle.
and forth. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Okay. Did you plan that, or that was just a coincidence?
No, that was well planned.
Ancestry.com and you found that out?
No, we didn't do that either. Okay. The dog is from Green Bay, so don't hold that as, hey, no, you're going to say that. We have a lot of professional tickets that we go to. So I was fortunate enough to go to Wild games, a lot of Wolves games, a lot of Vikings games, a lot of college sports. Yeah, I like to be in the event. I think it's always fun.
You're moving and shaking.
Yep.
I love it. And another thing that I've appreciated, I'm a big music person, and I have mostly annoyed people. We've got a shared area with, a lot of speakers, and I put music on and stuff like that. And we've been able to connect over music. So I've been buying gifts for people to show our appreciation, but also, provide a little insight into our relationship.
All right.
So
what'd you get?
I got you some stuff. So the first question is, do you have a CD player in 2026?
No, but willing to find one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you work hard, James, you can probably buy one of these.
All
things.
right.
They're like $100 tops.
Sure.
So just safe. So I tried to find some like blank CDs to make you some mixtapes. I've got a pretty strong mixtape game, including Boyum Wealth Bootleg Series #1, which is still pretty hot in the streets. I couldn't find one. I had to give them away to like strangers because nobody wanted them. But I was unsuccessful. I went to 4 places last night.
All right.
And so I ended up at Cheapo, and I just went through the used CD.
All right.
So let's see where we go. Okay.
Right. Is it Cheapo by McAllister?
It is.
Okay. So you went to one on Snelling.
Yep.
All right.
Which is usually the go-to.
It's a good one.
Yep. It is. So I think, growing up in Iowa, there's not a lot of culture coming in unless it's from the radio or television.
Sure.
And in the 90s, it was like...
We had Rock 108. Do you remember Rock 108? Probably
got that. Made it to the other side of the sprawling state. Cornfield's gotten away.
Yes.
No, So MTV, a lot of gangster rap back in the 90s, but I know that necessarily wasn't your jam. So I got you a Roots CD.
Roots?
Yeah.
Oh, I have that CD.
You do?
Well, not that particular one, but absolutely.
Okay. So that's a concept album. It
Yeah.
starts at the end of the story and it works its way
Best drummer.
That's a good one.
All music, I think.
Yep. So that's a solid one.
That is a great one.
And then I know you've remarked that you like the Replacements, arguably the Twin Cities' best band. We've got some,
we could argue over it. Yeah, there's a few in there.
Some other ones. And so Tommy Stinson, solo record after the Replacements.
Nice.
Mike Campbell, Benmont Tench, also play on this. And so that's Bash and Pop. That's his solo band. Little fun Josh fact for you, unsolicited. The first song on there, Never Aim to Please, my #1 played song on Spotify 2 years in a row. It's classic. I like it. I like it. What can I say?
All right.
And then
I'll check it out. Thanks, man.
Yeah. And then, Adam Sandler, like, what red-blooded American male isn't listening to What the Hell Happened to Me?
Oh, that's a good one too. I haven't seen that forever.
Right. And here's the deal. I pulled it up on Spotify to get reacquainted with it. On Spotify, it's only the songs. There's not the skits.
Oh, the skits are so much better.
Well, I don't know. There's some, Polychronopoulos is on here.
That's true.
In My Car.
Yeah.
Dip and Doodle, the Grandma song.
Grandma songs.
So they're speaking of which, the greatest hits with you being here, they just don't stop.
That's funny. Oh, you're good. That's amazing. I haven't seen this in probably, oh my gosh, 25 years.
It holds up.
What year did this come out?
Oh, that's got to be
92,
know? 93.
I know I was in high school, but I don't remember what year in high school. Holy smokes.
I mean, how much time do we all spend? There's not a whole lot to do in Iowa except drive around, right?
There was 96.
It's way off.
Well, you're pretty close. It was actually at college then. All right. Interesting.
Nice. Well, hopefully you enjoy those. You have to get a CD player. I might know a guy. But I appreciate you coming. I appreciate the time. My contact information is at the bottom of the screen. Job description, all of that is online. Apply to it. Get in touch with us. Get the opportunity to work with James and his team.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thank you. See ya. Thanks, Josh. That was fun.